Welcome back, Susan. By now, everyone should know you maybe a little too well.
Maybe. Considering we're talking about like pregnancy, vaginal discharge.
Yes. We were just talking about me making sure your kids were okay, and you were like, no, they own me.
Yeah, they own me. Any kid that is chasing you down the hallway every time you leave, I know you think that it's because you're so indispensable. But the truth is, it's because they can no longer control that situation and they really fucking want to. So don't be guilty. Don't be sad about it. Yes, there are times where they miss mommy, they miss daddy, they want blah, 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 blah. Trust me, they are all ego. It is id. Feral fucking animals, these little kids.
They know what they're doing.
They do.
So when you said, no, he's going to chase me down the hallway, I can't call him or see him because then he'll want me. And I was like, that's so amazing. He wants you. And you're like, no, he wants to control me.
Right. He wants to be in control of the situation because he, as a small child, can't control anything. Okay. It is a really terrifying position to be in if you think about it. You are tiny. You, especially him, can't really communicate. You're not in charge of the food you eat. You're not in charge of any of the time that you spend anywhere. And now all of a sudden, the one thing that sort of does what you want it to do, because it has been ever since you were born, is gone. And you don't want it to be gone. It's a little, yes, it's a little sad. It's a little funny. It's a little heartbreaking. It's a little silly. Like, kids are fucked up.
But you also need your time.
I don't even need my time.
You don't.
He needs his time. Like, he needs his time away from me so he can be a strong, independent person.
Yes.
He also needs his time away from me because he needs to connect with other people.
Yeah, it can't just
which
be
is
you.
really important for his own self-esteem.
Yes.
So, and it's really, and coming from someone who is now self-admittedly just devalued herself to the point of just like being a bag on the fucking floor.
And many of us have done that.
It's I think that these stages, these like early life stages, really are important for the building blocks of being just a strong, emotionally secure, capable human being.
And did you learn all this by reading books? Like, what did you do? Like, did you read books before childbirth?
Nope.
Nothing.
Not a word.
Okay.
This is what you do. You live your life and you see what happens, and then you fuck up a lot. And then you realize, oh shit, I should probably do something else.
Okay.
Because this isn't working. And it's all about, what you see that sparks your kids' interest and love.
You're figuring it out as you go. Like, you don't have all the answers.
Nobody has all the answers. And I think it's important to like acknowledge that if you do have all the answers, if you think you have all the answers, you're doing everything wrong.
Okay.
Because we're all individual people. And your
Absolutely.
kids are all individual people. And nobody is going to respond to the same things. So,
yeah.
Howard, like Dr. Spock, we loved you, but you are outdated as fuck.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you're their mom. But now you are now juggling this, and by now I'm sure you have a routine. Like, this is your family dynamic. It's getting easier.
Yes, because I now expect to not expect anything. Like, nothing is going to be the same. Every day is going to be different. Every emotion is going to be heightened or lessened. Every show that they watched yesterday, they don't want to watch today. Every food that they ate, they no longer like. It's all maddening. And that's where mood stabilizers come in because it really fucking helps.
What are you on?
I am on Prozac currently. I might switch to Zoloft. I have not decided yet.
And you started that after?
I did.
Children.
After children, Jamie was diagnosed, and he was really in an emotionally volatile state, and there was a lot of thrashing and moving, and you couldn't really control him, and I had like 16 nosebleeds and black eyes.
Yes.
He broke my sternum, and I was 3 seconds away from like just strangling him to death.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know how to control him. So I was like, let's get on something. Let's get me on Prozac. And it really worked.
Helped.
Like, holy shit, did it help.
And what's the difference between Prozac and Zoloft?
So I think, again, everyone's different. For me, what Prozac does is it really gives me a stable emotional regulation.
Okay.
Okay. So if I get punched in the face, I breathe, I can move on. It's not a big deal.
And when whoever's jumping on, when she says punched in the face by her baby.
Yeah. No. There's no.
You're like, wait, what if someone listens on this point?
Correct. Right. baby punches. Yes. But it really, you can just pick up and move on. And that's what it's done for me. Okay. Other people have different reactions to Prozac. What it has not done is helped with this husband nervous breakdown.
Getting there.
Psychopath. So that didn't work.
Do you have the mom anxiety that came? Because a lot of my friends who are now moms said an anxiety came over them and their life has never been the same. Like my friend started getting panic attacks every time she had to drive and she'd never had that before.
It didn't happen to me.
Okay.
It does happen to, I would say 50%. I say you have a 50-50 chance of becoming a total neurotic psychopath. Like it is 100%. And it's okay. Like maybe I should be a little more psychotic about my children's protection. I just feel like there's nothing I can do.
Right.
Like there's no scenario that I'm going to be able to mitigate. Like whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And all I can do is just be prepared.
And do your best.
And do my best. And that's it. And so that's the only, the only stable part of my personality at all. Okay. I am so fucked up in every other way. I'm so fucked up.
No, we don't say those words on this podcast.
Why not?
Because we affirm the positive.
Oh my God. You know what? I'm embracing a little bit of my negative.
Okay.
It's not a bad thing.
Okay.
There is good and bad in all of us, and it balances us out so that we don't have to feel like we always have to be happy. We always have to be good.
No,
we
definitely
always have
not.
to be positive. You know what? Sometimes
it's a lie.
I'm just negative.
Yes.
Sometimes I'm just
Sometimes you have to feel.
Dark little bitch.
Absolutely.
Right. Like, and that is what it is.
And you're like, sometimes my problem is it's all the time, which is why I have to affirm. I'm always a dark little bitch.
Yeah, but that's part of what makes you great. It's part of what makes you you. I would embrace it. I would embrace the anti-hero in you.
The anti-hero. Right. Absolutely. But now you have your routine, you have your kids, everything seems to be going well. And now the world is on Ozempic.
Right.
Talk to me about this journey. This is now, what year are we in? How old are you now?
Right. Okay. So I'm 41 years old. I gained 70 pounds in my first pregnancy.
You're 41 now.
Right.
How old were you then?
38.
Okay.
I gained 70 pounds. Like couldn't move.
Second pregnancy.
That was the first pregnancy.
Okay.
I really only lost 20 of that 70 pounds.
Okay.
And then I got pregnant again and gained those 20 back, but pretty much stabilized after that because I was enormous.
Yeah.
And I couldn't gain any more weight. If my body wouldn't stretch that far. So after I gave birth to my second, my OBGYN was like, yo, take this number. And
like they told you to get help.
Well, no, I was like, I want help. And they were like, take this number.
Okay. And I have that number.
You do have that
number. If
anyone
needs that number.
I can promote it if you would like me to. It's Wellness by Messer. Okay. And it's
you can DM
incredible.
Either of us for the number, except
100%.
I don't know if Susan's going to reply.
I'm not good at this.
I reply to everybody. You can DM me or email me.
Right.
I have the information, and I have shared this information with a lot of people as well.
They're really incredible. It is a full-service clinic. They are all endocrinologists.
They're not paying us.
They're not paying us, and they should because now 45 people that I know have gone to Wellness by Messer. Okay, I should be getting a kickback. They're amazing. My particular doctor is Dr. Weinstein. Love her. And the truth is that she knew, like I had PCOS growing up. So there was already an insulin resistance issue.
can you walk me through PCOS? Because a lot of women have this,
Right.
and it's a term we're hearing more now. Like, I never heard that growing up.
Right.
So what
It's
is it?
Polycystic ovarian syndrome. It is essentially your body compensating for hormones that you're not producing, and it causes things like hair growth, weight gain, acne, different things for different people.
Nothing good.
Nothing good, all bad, and some psychological side effects. Like and there's really, I mean, up until now, there really hasn't been a steadfast way to get rid of it. It's always just been like,
remove everything.
Starve yourself and then take these pills that don't work.
Yeah, or like take out your uterus.
That's not even a thing.
I see people like, I think saying they go to have their hysterectomy and stuff because of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Rough.
So it's like, this can't be the only solution.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not. And then because of Jamie and the hypothyroid, I went in, they put me on Mounjaro. Which is a weight loss shot, but it's really a diabetes medication.
But it's not Ozempic.
It is not Ozempic, but it is in the same category.
Same family, different
Wegovy,
font.
Ozempic, right, Mounjaro. I personally will tell you, I have been on both Ozempic and Mounjaro. Go for the Mounjaro.
So tell us what happened with Ozempic and then why you switched to Mounjaro. Like, walk us through it all.
Ozempic I got from a different endocrinologist. It did not work. And this is coming from someone who has literally been starving since, 1993.
I've never seen you eat.
Correct.
And we're not promoting that.
I'm not. I really love food. It's really been a miserable journey. My whole life has just been me being like, I will do anything to be able to eat and not gain weight. My entire life. And now I can.
Yes.
Because I went on the Mounjaro, and you have to diet. It's not like you don't. You should exercise.
But you weren't feeling hungry. Like, how does this even work? How does the Mounjaro work?
It does slow down your digestion. So you feel fuller longer. That is 100%. But the truth is that you can eat on it.
Right.
And it doesn't cause insulin spikes, which is the reason for weight gain.
Okay.
In general, for everyone across the board. If you fuck around too much,
you will find out.
You will find out. It will blow you up. Okay? It's not like you won't lose weight. You'll still be, you have to diet. You have to be like a normal person. However, now that I've gotten to a weight where I'm comfortable, I actually wouldn't even mind gaining a couple because I have no tits and ass anymore.
Teensy.
But it's also just like, where did the woman go?
We're getting there.
Yeah. So
so you decide to go on this, and not because other people in Hollywood and stuff were doing it. It seemed like
I didn't
everyone
even know at
you
that
didn't even
point,
know.
Really. So I went on it. I really liked the doctor. I thought she was excellent. I drink the Kool-Aid on a regular basis.
Yes,
so
we all do.
I was going to do it anyway, even if I hated her.
Yeah.
And it worked.
And how did it work? What kind of weight loss were you having?
I think in the beginning it was very slow and I got worried because I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it just took off.
How many months are we talking? And did you have a goal weight?
So I had a goal weight, which
knowing you, we should not say out loud.
No, it's just like way in the rear view mirror. Like,
oh, really?
I had very reasonable expectations. Okay. I was like, I don't want to be skinny. Yeah, I was like, I just want to be like a
maintenance,
a healthy weight with a woman's body. Like that was my initial. But it's really fun to feel your bones. Because we're all fucked up.
Again, we're all fucked up. Yeah. And this is brain damage.
It's brain damage. It's 100% brain damage. There is a problem. But the difference is now is that I can actually eat food. So I can go out and get a sandwich right now. It's not going to put 10 pounds on me.
Or stress you out.
Or stress me out. At all. Almost to the point where all I was thinking about before was food my entire life. How to avoid it, what I could eat, when I could binge, when, you know what I mean? Like that was really what consumed me. Almost to the point where now it's like, oh, now I have to think about other shit.
Right.
Where do we go from here?
A lot of people told me that when they've been on Mounjaro or Ozempic, some of them, that now they know what it feels like to be a quotation mark skinny person.
Yeah.
To eat
Right.
like and be
A
full.
normal person, right?
And not to have these constant cravings or
Right.
intrusive food thoughts.
Right.
You know, like you're just thinking about it all the time.
All the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
or like, no, like I'm full, I'm done, and move on.
Or just even if you are full, you're like, but I can't stop because I'm not going to get this opportunity again for another
or it's a
6
cheat
months.
day or something
Right.
ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah. Just having a diet, not a diet's the wrong word. Just having healthy, balanced meals and portions.
Right. But it's not even that. You just eat until you're full and then you don't eat
it.
again and that's okay. Like it's just
Right.
so bizarre to not have this one thing weighing you down all the time.
Yeah.
It's really very nice.
So you go on it, you see these changes. Did your husband start when you started? Like, how does he come into this?
He started before me.
Really?
So I had gotten the name from my OBGYN while I was still breastfeeding. So
and what made you want to do him want to do this?
Because he's been morbidly obese his entire life.
And you thought, okay, this is a solution.
He wanted to do it for his family.
Having
to be
kids
a more
now,
present father,
Yeah.
to be a better husband,
to do more.
And for the first time in his life, it worked. And this was not easy for him. He was working out multiple times a day. He was, really putting the pedal to the metal when it comes to eating healthily and like doing what he needed to do. It was hard work. But he felt like for the first time in his life, he could do it.
And it was working.
And it worked.
There's results.
Right.
And what were you thinking?
I can't wait to stop breastfeeding. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, this sucks. I was
So
like,
you
I just
couldn't
wanna...
go on it because you were breastfeeding,
Right.
but were you looking at Adam and thinking, whoa, did you ever think this day would come either for you?
Yeah, I mean, I was just like, for me, it's a little different because I would starve myself for 6 months. So I had been thin before. It wasn't like, it was.
Well, did you think the day would come where Adam would not be morbidly obese?
I mean, I think I've
because you've loved him
back and forth. I didn't really. That was the thing. It didn't really matter to me, except that things like energy and being more present and not falling asleep every 5 minutes and having sleep apnea.
Yeah,
and,
I have that, and
all the things.
I don't know why.
Do you have a machine?
No, I don't. But I've had sleep apnea, and I don't know why. But I think that's because I can't breathe through my nose.
It's an excuse for a nose job. That's your solution. But yeah,
that's scary.
So he started losing weight, and it was amazing, and he was so much happier, and I started it a couple months later, and
again, you're on this journey together now.
We're on this journey together, and things got amazing, like better than they had ever been in our marriage. Period. End of story.
The best
it had ever been.
Like
our
the
sex
peak.
life was great.
So you are now having regular sex.
We were now having regular sex. He had sat down. We had a conversation. I'm so sorry that it had been so many years that I had done this to you. I can't wait to be the husband you deserve.
Wow.
Blah 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 blah. Right.
Like admitting too.
Right.
To the reality of
the situation. So I was like a pig in shit.
Yeah.
And then things started happening. October is when
2023?
Yeah.
Wow.
Right.
Your birthday.
So this all went down within a matter of maybe 2 to 3 months.
So you were blindsided. Okay. So when would you say you both reached your goal weight?
I mean, I would say around then. I say October.
And how long had you been on Mounjaro?
I started March. He had started.
So this is rapid weight loss. Because
yeah, it's pretty rapid.
How many pounds did he lose in 8 months?
Well, he lost, remember, because he was on before I was. So he started in December. He started in December of 2022, and he lost 176 pounds in about a year. So I would say
rapid weight loss.
Yeah. So I would say the next year he was down to where he wanted to be.
And things are great. All of 2023, most of 2023.
Or at least I thought that things were great.
So when do you start seeing weird things happening?
Okay, so there was a lot of like going out, staying out late nights, which, by the way, I'm the coolest wife on the planet. I'm like, go. Yeah. This is the first time in your life you've ever been able to like have the energy to go out and have fun, go out and have fun. I was like, right on.
So he didn't have that in his 20s.
Right. So I was like, right on, you do it. And then I would say it was just like a lot. So I could see him being tired and whatever, but he was working out. His mood was up. He was okay. And then I think my first signs of like him acting strange were we went for a consultation for him for skin removal surgery.
Okay. And there's excess skin
due to 176 pounds being lost. So we had the consultation and we're trying to figure out a time when he can get this done. He's like, I want to do it over Christmas. This is like now we went in for the consultation maybe the beginning of December. And I was like, okay, so you want weight loss surgery in 3 weeks.
Like now.
Right, in 3 weeks while we have 2 very young kids and this being our eldest's, probably the first Christmas that they're going to remember. And you were going to be
out of commission.
In bed? Like, what the fuck are you talking about, you lunatic? Wait a month. So fucking screaming, psychotic conversation. Right. Until finally he was like, fine. And
like
he picked
adamant.
a different date. Yeah. But like, just, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
And he was like, they don't care about Christmas. You care about Christmas. I'm like, what the fuck
this
are
is like
you
our
talking
first
about?
Family Christmas. Okay.
Okay. So, but he was like, okay. He was like, you're right. I'll do it XYZ. I was like, okay.
So now we're in 2023.
Right. And
when did he do it?
He's got a work obligation, so we had to push it back. He did it, I think it was mid-February.
Okay.
And it was supposed to be the end of January, but then he had to push it to mid-February. Anyway, he gets it done and he has to stop working out for a long time, which was giving him a lot of energy and like the energy that he needed.
Okay. And may I ask what type of workouts he was doing, asking for a friend, because I hate working out and
worst.
I just walk and I like
ambient
die. Walking. Yeah. So it's like, what was Adam doing? Because I can't imagine. What was your husband doing? Because I can't imagine someone who was never working out and then now they love working out. What was he doing for the friends of the show?
It actually did something different for the first time in my life to me too. So I never needed it as a mood stabilizer. Working out never made me feel better. It had always made me a little angry and like tired and
more
pissed,
hungry.
Right? Not happy. But it did. It started stabilizing his mood and giving him more energy, and it did the same thing.
So what were you doing?
Strength training.
Classes, or no, you were just going to the gym?
We had personal trainers.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So
that helps.
Yeah,
money helps. I had a personal trainer during my life crisis change moment where I lost 30 pounds.
Right.
And I was already, I would say, slim, but then when people start telling you you're beautiful when you're a bag of bones.
I know.
And I did get too thin.
Right.
And this was probably in season 2 of Family Karma. Like I was a bag of bones. But people start telling you you're beautiful when you're bones.
Right.
That's what's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
People were telling me I looked beautiful. And it was like,
I'm really unhealthy and I'm really miserable.
Yeah. Well, I was healthy, but I was just running. And I'm not a runner, but I was like running and eating. So I was eating plenty, but burning it all off.
Right. Well, there is a term for that. It's called exercise anorexic.
Yeah. So I stopped doing that when I was like, well, maybe I want children.
Right.
And, I want to be healthy and all that other stuff. But I'm just curious.
Also, you become consumed by it. Like you can't.
Well, when people start, we come from different backgrounds, whereas you had low self-esteem, right? And you were in this relationship because, let's say, both of you thought you couldn't do better. I was someone brown where growing up, life revolved around reading and studying. No one talked about looks or emphasized looks, but I also grew up in Miami, so I was always feeling like the ugly one in my class because I was the only brown person in my school. So it wasn't until that time period, 37, where I was a bag of bones, whereas I was always slim, but there's slim and then there's slim fat.
I know, right.
There's skinny fat. So I was always skinny fat, whereas I always had a gut and always had like flabby skin. Like I didn't have like a rounded ass.
Tight body.
Everything was like loose and thin and like fatty, right? Like skinny fat. And now I was like tight, right and tight, snatched, as the kids say. I was snatched. And people started liking me and giving me attention for the first time at 36. So now even my family God bless my mom, but I have an almond mom, God bless her, and I have a stunning mom.
You do.
And my mom's calling me beautiful.
Right.
And my parents are saying I look good. And it's like, okay, now I must really look good. And
But
then you
also,
start
I
wearing
have to-
bikinis.
Also, I have to keep it up.
Keep it up.
Now I don't have a choice.
I never wore bikinis in my life. Started wearing 2 pieces and really feeling myself, posting thirst traps.
5 crop tops I have in my bag for no reason.
Yeah, so some of us, like you and me, this happened for us in our mid-30s, mid to late 30s, where we actually were like, wow, like some people, they're like, I was hot in my 20s. I'm like, no, this is new for me. Thinking I'm good looking and hot is all recent, like past 3 years, which is why I think I finally met someone that I was, wanting to be with, because I met someone confident because I was confident. Okay. We've talked about that many times before. But now you and Adam are on this journey. You and your husband are now on this journey where you're both feeling yourselves for the first time in your life, in your late 30s, as did I.
Right.
Except now you have a family.
Right.
You're not single.
Right.
So you've been together now, married how many years in 2023?
Been together for almost 15 years. It was almost 15 years, and married for 9.
And you have this amazing family. And so he gets the weight loss surgery.
So he gets the weight loss surgery.
Not weight loss surgery. He gets the skin, extra skin. What do you call that?
Right.
What's the medical term?
He got a tummy tuck. It was a tummy tuck.
He did a tummy tuck and removed excess skin.
Right. The tummy tuck is removing excess skin.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Getting rid of fat is liposuction. Getting rid of excess skin is a tummy tuck.
Okay. And it sounds very painful. But you guys seem to be bionic. Like nothing hurts you, is what I gather.
Right. So, but I think that he wasn't able to work out. I think it changed his mood. I think it changed his mentality. He was doing weird stuff like going out all night. But it was weird. He was being weird, and I felt like he wasn't being present with the kids. So he would be out all night, and then he would be like falling asleep, like listening to his radio show, like not being. So I had enough. I was like, fuck you. I was like, get out. We're getting divorced. I don't want to see you ever again. Get a fucking hotel room. I'm done.
When was this?
This was about 2 months ago.
Okay. So you turned 40 in October of 2023.
Mm-hmm.
Were things good then?
Yeah. He threw me a 40th birthday party.
Exactly. I was invited.
Yeah.
I couldn't come. I was having my honeymoon because I never went on one when I got married. But because you marry a surgeon, then there's
you don't
no
get a honeymoon.
That's what happens. So things were great at your 40th birthday.
Yeah.
And you were happy.
But after the surgery, things got progressively worse. And I had enough. So I kicked him out. I made him go to a hotel. So the skin removal was this year. So 2024, February 2024.
Okay. So this is like yesterday.
Yeah.
Where he doesn't want to spend the Christmas. Everything 2023.
Right.
So your 40th birthday, everything's going great. So all of 2023 was awesome up until December, where he starts being strange and wanting this surgery like right away.
Right.
Okay. So then he gets the surgery in like February.
Right.
And then all hell breaks loose.
And then
how do you go from 0 to 100? Like, get the fuck out.
He wasn't really, I mean, like, he had just been staying out all night. And I'm like, you can't stumble in at 6 o'clock in the morning, dude. That like doesn't.
And you have
you
family
have a fucking
now.
family. And he stayed in a hotel for about a week. And when he got back, he was like, I'll pack up my shit. Like, what? Like,
it wasn't like, I'm so sorry.
No.
I'm moving back. It was like, I don't want to be here.
I don't want to be here.
That's insane.
Right. And
after
he was
all
like,
these years.
I want to do what I want to do when I want to do it. Period. End of story. That's how I'm living my life. That's it. Bye, bitch. Like, that's what, right. And I was like, we have 2 kids and we've been together for 15 years. We need to at least try. And one of them is special needs. Like, we need to at least try.
Right.
So we went to like 3 marriage counseling sessions.
Had you ever done therapy or marriage counseling before? I know you said you went to therapy when your father passed away.
I did.
But that was it.
And that was it. He never had. And we had never gone to marriage counseling, which we definitely should have.
Do you think it would have helped at that point?
Maybe. At a much earlier stage. But at this point, even the therapist, like every time he would open his mouth, the therapist was like,
Okay.
and she was like, I think both of you need your own therapists ASAP, like yesterday, because I think she couldn't say what she wanted to say because a marriage counselor is just supposed to facilitate communication properly between the two of you. But I mean, I think that the takeaway was you're off your fucking rocker, and Susan, you need to like leave right now and figure out what the fuck is wrong with you that you're still in this situation with this man who is really, I mean, lost his mind. Like, so, and he was having panic attacks and he was having,
and I'm shocked because I just saw you guys at Thanksgiving because I flew here for my friend Dis, who's a friend of the show, his Thanksgiving. And you guys were amazing and happy. And he was even opening the box full of fun clothes because now he can wear designer clothes.
Yeah.
And I was just shocked when you told me.
Yeah.
And
I was pretty shocked too, I'll tell you.
Like many women tell me this. Were you crying wolf when you were like, get the fuck out?
100%.
Like many of us do.
I have done this 1,000 times in the past. He knows. He's not an idiot. Like we've had, and he was in the wrong.
Right.
It wasn't like, you know what I mean? It wasn't like, so yes, I was of course crying wolf. I thought he was going to come back and be like, I'm going to fix it. And that was.
Which would be the right thing to do.
Correct. Or at least try to fix it.
Yeah.
But he had no interest in trying to fix it. And we were going to couples counseling and it was like, there's nothing that we can work out. Like you are on your own tip. Like I can't.
You're like, who are you?
Yeah, I can't do it. I was like, so one day he was like, are we going to go to Arlene? And I was like, no.
That's like, we're laughing.
I was like, I'm done. Like we're done. We're done with this. Yeah. And I was like,
you deserve better.
Just go to our own therapists and figure our shit out and figure why I am putting up with this and why you are the way you are.
and you had been putting up with, I guess, a lot of different things that we don't know about for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that there are just quirks that everybody has, or what I was considering quirks. Right? Quirks that I thought were just part of him, and you accept the good and, you know, you try to dismiss the bad, and that's what being married is and being in a relationship is. And like, but there are things that like are now, I'm like, oh my God, I don't have to deal with someone screaming, running around the house, looking for something that he's lost that doesn't matter, destroying everything in his wake, emotionally dysregulating everybody in the house, and then finding it in his own pocket and being like, peace, and leaving all of the destruction.
Yeah.
Just a lot of things like that just putting himself before others, putting himself before me, putting himself before the kids, just unacceptable behavior for a man that you're married to.
No longer.
Right. So we're not technically divorced because we don't want to spend the money.
Yeah. No, Dave Portnoy's not divorced.
Right. I mean, but separated. He got an apartment on like 10 floors down from us.
Yeah.
But like we looked through his schedule. He's gone pretty much until the fall.
Like traveling? Like what is happening?
Some of it's traveling for work. He decided that he wanted to be a wrestling promoter, so he brought his own wrestling promotion, which now occupies a lot of his time. Everything occupied. He stacked his schedule.
Okay.
So now he can't be there anyway.
And he can also say it's work.
Right.
But he's also
say it's work.
Making money and you're taking it.
He is, and I am taking it.
Yes.
And I will be taking it.
Absolutely.
And I have no problem with taking it.
Stay tuned, guys.